Please raise your hands for questions.
You know, going back and reviewing the game, it's a lot kind of what I thought after the game. It's hard to have a lot of success when you have 6 turnovers. Gave the guys short field 3 different times, and obviously we turned it over on the 1-yard line. And on the 20 another time. So, and then starting the second half, fumbling the opening kickoff. You know, ball security is something that we work on every single day on both sides of the ball. It's been an emphasis for us, and we've got to improve on it. Done a pretty good job with it the first 2 games, but the last 2 games have not. Got to continue to focus on it. Got to get more turnovers on defense, and got to take care of the ball offensively. You know, we had on defensive side, we had several guys that played their best game. You kind of look at the big picture part of it. There's 3 times that they created explosive plays in the throw game. 2 times, we have guys, relatively pretty close to the guy that catches the ball. Got to finish on the ball. They made a throw and made catches, and we got to finish on the ball. Another time we've got everybody covered, and when the quarterback scrambles, we turn the guy loose and creates an explosive play. And you look at it from us on the offensive side, there's several opportunities that we had to create some explosive plays, kind of in the same scenario where we didn't come down with the ball. So we've got to finish on both sides. We got to improve in the run game. I thought this game was by far the worst game for us as far as being effective running the football. We got to be able to finish our blocks up front, the backs. We have to fall forward. We got to move the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Got to do a better job protecting the quarterback, and the quarterback's got to get the ball out of their hands a little faster. Had a couple of breakdowns, when we had 7-man protection, and got to do a better job coaching the guys up so they understand what they're going to get, and then go out there and execute a little bit. I thought in the kicking game, kickoff return, we had a penalty, and we had a fumble. It's not very good. Our kickoff coverage, I thought, was pretty good. Our punt team done an outstanding job with a really good returner, and our punt return team, we got to find a way to either get some blocks or create some run lanes so we can get some guys going there. I really, as the game went, I said it after the game, and I saw it yesterday. I'm walking through the office, and our offices is littered with our players in there watching tape. And I had no idea they were up there. Got groups of guys that's got them in there talking about players being leaders. I guess they organized it. But it's the first time I've seen that. But I saw some ownership during the game of the day that excites me about moving forward. Some guys that really played their best game, and kind of, to me, as more adversity hit, I saw guys, try to play at their best. So that was positive. What we got to do is not create adversity ourselves. I've said it all along. We got to fix us before we start worrying about the other teams. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Jeremy, yesterday, Forte tweeted that he never asked or nor did I refuse to go into the game, and there was a sideline confrontation that occurred with another party that needed to be restrained. Kind of, what's your response to that?
Well, it's like I said after the game. Cortez been a great ambassador. He come and saw me yesterday, and it's like I told y'all after the game. Once me and him sat down and talked, it would be between us and keep it in-house. But I will say this, and I said it other night, and said it to our players. Since I've been here, he has been a really good ambassador to our football program, to our team, and has been a good leader on our team. So one mistake everybody makes mistakes. So we're going to move on, and we'll go from there.
Baylen and Steve, has there been any suspension with him, or is he able to play on Saturday, Quartet?
Yeah, I mean, we sat down and talked yesterday, and here's the thing, guys. I've coached at a lot of places, And I've seen things like this happen before. I've seen guys not show up to practice on Tuesday, not show up to practice on Wednesday. And when you're dealing with, 18 to 22-year-olds, and there's lots of things going on, things happen. But again, Corte has been nothing but a great ambassador for our program and really good student and been a good leader for our team.
Just, you had said Saturday they thought Jarrett would be fine, but any update on his condition and moving forward for Saturday after getting knocked out last week?
Yeah, Jarrett got banged up a little bit, but I said when I first took the job, Jarrett's really a tough guy. He's back at it. I saw him yesterday throwing balls and dropping in the indoor. So I think a lot of our guys are kind of itching to get going again, which is a good thing. You always wonder how people are going to respond when you don't play at your best. I would say everybody associated with Tennessee has got to be disappointed in how things turned out Saturday. Nobody's more disappointed than the men that's in this building. So I think everybody involved is trying to find a way to get it right.
Jeremy, kind of following up to that, did you see a replay of the hit on Jarrett, and did you send that to the SEC, or kind of what was your take on that play?
I saw a guy playing hard. It's unfortunate that Jarrett got hit the way he did, but you know what? Guys play hard. I can tell you this, it wasn't intentional by no means. The guy just stumbled around. So, but no, we didn't send it in. I got confidence in the officiating crew, and they're there to protect the players.
David, Jesse, Brown.
When you think about your time with Kirby at Alabama, how would you kind of characterize that, and what did you kind of learn from him as you guys were working together?
Well, we worked together for 6 years. Kirby's a really good football coach. He's a very hard worker. He focuses on the details. He's a good coach on the field. He's a good scheme guy, and it's not just defensively. He's involved in special teams. He's involved in offense, and you can see it in their football program.
Jeremy, when you went back and rewatched the tape, do you feel like you guys are generating enough explosive plays, specifically kind of on first down? Were you guys a little bit too predictable on Saturday, or was that a matter of some of the execution woes you kind of talked about after the game?
Well, we had more explosive plays in Florida. We had 8 and they had 7. I do think that you want to be more productive on first down. So that's something that we need to do. It's when you look at I think Saturday we were 8 for 18 on third down, but I think 5 of the third downs that we didn't convert were 3 or less. Those are the ones that you're supposed to convert, So we actually converted some that were a little longer yardages, but again, it's hard to judge what our offense could do when you turn the football over. I thought in the second half there was probably 3 or 4 drives there that's when we really kind of got stuck and went 3 and out several times there in a row.
Coach, you've talked a lot about confidence and guys doing the right thing all the time. Do you see a team like, you get behind 14-3 in that first quarter on Saturday where when bad things happen, they just don't know how to pull themselves out of it? Is that one of the things you're battling right now, do you think?
No. That's why after the game that, I talked about the look in some of the guys' eyes. I saw guys that were trying to rise to the occasion after we got down 14-3. We onside kick, and we didn't execute the onside kick there, but we made them go 3 and out, right? The ball gets pinned. Did we execute getting out? No, we got a safety kickoff, and then the next play they score a touchdown, so it makes it 23-3. If you look through that point of the game there, it'd been real easy for guys to say, this isn't going to be our day. I didn't see that. I saw guys trying to find a way, and that's real positive to me, because to me you find out a little bit about yourself when adversity hits, and I thought some of these guys were trying to find a way, and a lot of these guys played their best football Saturday. It just takes everybody. It takes all 11 on each play. And we got to get a few other guys to kind of raise their level of play, and we got to take care of the football. Got to take care of the football, and we got to finish at the end of some plays.
Jeremy, I mean, what's your sense of Georgia? What do you expect from them? How have they maybe changed, if at all, since you saw them 9-10 months ago?
Well, I see a physical football team. They're big up front. I thought last year, Jake Fromm, out of all the quarterbacks we played, I thought he was probably the most efficient quarterback that we played against. He's very accurate. It's like having a coach on the field. He's got command. He keeps them out of bad plays. He even puts them in good plays. They got really good receivers on the outside, good runners, good tight ends. So offensively, they're one of the best teams in the country, obviously. Defensively, they got big men up front. They got backers that can run, guys that can rush the quarterback. They got guys who can deny the ball in the back end. Kirby and Mail will have always done a good job. They create different looks that give you problems. They're really good on special teams because they got speed. They've got great specialists. So all around, they're a very good football team, and they're very well coached.
Just a housekeeping note, Jeremy. It looked like Mincy got dinged up or in warm-ups on Saturday. What's kind of his status this week?
Yeah, unfortunately, he hurt his elbow a little bit. It was good news, though. Nothing was broke. So, but we held him out of the game. I think if he could have tolerated the pain, he wanted to play. We had to hold him out. But I saw him yesterday, and he had a big smile on his face. So hopefully we can get him back out here soon.
Do you expect him to practice this week, or is that too early to tell?
I think it'd be not today. Not today.
Steve, just looking back on the film, what were your impressions of the way your offensive line performed, what it wasn't doing or wasn't doing, and is there any possibility of trying a different combination out there Saturday?
Well, I think we've kind of narrowed down to who probably the guys we feel like give us the best chance to have success, kind of the top 8 guys, and we've kind of been playing those guys. Chance Hall hadn't played the last 2 weeks. Hopefully he'll be a little better this week where he can possibly get a chance to play. Again, I've said it takes all 5. So to me, there's a lot to finishing blockers. I thought this week we were much cleaner and going in the right direction and playing with the right pad level. But as the game wore on, I didn't see guys finishing as well as they did in the first half. Sometimes the runners have got to press the holes a little bit. One thing in this league, a positive run is a good thing. When I'm saying that, you can't have negative runs. So if you look at the best teams in this league, when probably their negative runs are +1, +2, +3. When they have a good run, it's 6, 7, or maybe they might get it on out there if they get in the secondary. We got to do a little more of that. We got to fall forward. You're not going to bust big runs and bounce outside and do things like that against good football teams. You got to press the hole. You got to make one cuts, and you got to get vertical, and you got to knock the pile forward.
With Paul, is it just a lingering thing from the stuff that's held him back the last couple of years in terms of getting him back?
Oh, Chance?
Yeah.
Well, just like I said during camp, he was a little bit kind of on a pitch count, and he got to feeling really well, and probably pushing himself a little bit. So he's been a little bit stiffer. We're getting him back, and because when we first knew he was coming back, we felt like sometime between this past week and this week would kind of be the start of when he could play, and it was so positive for him. He got going. We've kind of had to hold him back a little bit.
Last few, Trey, Wes, Patrick.
Coach, looking at the offensive line on Saturday, will you continue to look at a rotation this week during practice and maybe try to change things up on Saturday, or are you pretty set with the way how guys played on this past Saturday? And also, I saw Trey Smith limping pretty rough on the sideline on Saturday. Any update to his status? Is he okay?
Yeah, Trey's fine. I mean, with our O-line, it's like any position. We've got several guys that are competing. We're creating depth, and there's lots of guys that have opportunity. So we'll figure out how our best combination moving forward and go with that.
Jimmy, how did you think Baylen Buchanan played on Saturday? He looked to be pretty sharp back there. Maybe was he one of the guys who played one of his better games?
Yeah, I thought this was one of Baylen's better games. He's one of the guys that I saw. I felt like, kind of answered the bell a little bit. I think, I can remember one play during the game that I thought he could have done better on a ball down the sideline, but he played a lot of press coverage and guarded guys really well, I felt like, during the game. So Baylen has talent. He's gaining confidence, so that's a good thing.
Jeremy, you talked a little bit about the Austin Pope play after the game. Said he was just trying to make a play. I guess did you say anything to him after the play, and kind of what response did you sense the team gave him when he came back to the sideline, and kind of how did you feel like he played the rest of the game?
Well, I just told him, hey, that play's over. Let's go play the next play. Just a lesson to try to secure the ball. And if you watch the tape, he's running and gets hit. When he gets hit, he's trying to put his second hand on the ball, and he just happened to he knocked it out himself, So we went into the game wanting to be aggressive, and that's how we want to play. But you also got to play smart, and he fumbled the ball, and it happened. We coach him up every day, and when you look at it from securing the ball, he just knocked it out with his other hand. So I just told him to play the next play.